What's up guys, my name is Stoody and I'd like to welcome you all back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be doing Stoody Rants episode 31. Now in today's rant, I'm going to be ranting about the 2024 AFL fixture. The full fixture hasn't come out yet, but I'm sure there'll be a part 2 rant knowing the AFL. So I'm just going to read through this article here. The 2024 Toyota AFL Premiership season will begin at the SCG on Thursday, March 7, with Brodie Grundy's first game as a Sydney player to come against his former club Melbourne. The 2024 season will start with just 4 games on the weekends of March 7 to 9. Just so you know, that's not a weekend, mate. The weekend is the 9th and 10th of March. 7th is a fucking Thursday. And why the fuck are we playing a game on Thursday? It's bullshit. And why is there no Sunday games? But anyway, 2 in each of New South Wales and Queensland, with the league today confirming the details of what it has labelled opening round. So they're not calling it round 0, which would have been really stupid. They're calling it opening round, even though it's technically round 1, and round 1 is what they're going to call round 1 is actually going to be round 2. A full round 1, you mean round 2, featuring all 18 clubs will then commence on Thursday, March 14, with the traditional Carlton versus Richmond game at the MCG. Now that's a huge problem, and I'm going to explain why in a minute. The Swans versus Demons clash to start the season will be followed by Brisbane hosting Carlton at the Gabba on Friday, March 8, in a rematch of this year's preliminary final. Gold Coast will then host Richmond on the Saturday afternoon, pitting ex-Tigers coach Damien Hardwick against his former club in his first game as Suns coach. Opening round will conclude with Greater Western Sydney hosting Collingwood on Saturday night in another preliminary final rematch. The 8 teams involved in opening round will have a bye at some point between rounds 2 and 6, meaning all 18 clubs will have played the same number of games by the start of round 7. The opening round games are part of the AFL's ongoing plan to grow the game in the northern states. The National Rugby League, which will start its 2024 season in Las Vegas, has scheduled just 1 game in Sydney on Saturday evening and 2 in Queensland Saturday night and Sunday afternoon. For that weekend of March 7 to 10, Thursday is not a weekend, giving the AFL some clear air for its opening round games. AFL CEO Andrew Dillon is also hopeful the Labor Day public holiday in Victoria on Monday, March 11, will further encourage fans of the Victorian clubs to travel north for the game. Since fucking when was Labor Day in March? It's in May, you idiots. We were fortunate to be in a position where we were able to have access to our major venues in Queensland and New South Wales a weekend earlier than usual, which gave us a unique opportunity to play these 4 games in key markets where footy continues to grow in popularity, Dillon said. The 4 matchups are big, with 4 of our biggest supported Victorian clubs travelling north, and we look forward to starting our season with real momentum before we head into a blockbuster round of matches in round 1, which is actually round 2. We continue to find opportunities to build marquee games and events across the season, with recent examples being King's Birthday Eve. Since when was there a King's Birthday Eve game? Not only that, King's Birthday is in fucking October, you idiot. Anzac Day Eve and Gather Round, and our 4 matches in the opening round build on this approach. Given this weekend also falls on the Labor Day long weekend in Victoria, no one fucking cares about Victoria. It presents a terrific opportunity for fans to travel north to support their club and enjoy an extended interstate break. The March 7 date is the earliest ever for an AFL/VFL Premiership season. The season started on March 8 in 2000 when the competition was moved forward to accommodate a finish in early September before the Sydney Olympics. The AFL last trialled a split round to begin the season in 2014 when 4 teams were played across an earlier weekend, 2 in Melbourne, 1 in Sydney, and 1 on the Gold Coast before the remaining 5 games the following week. Just so you know, this is not a fucking split round when you claim they're 2 different rounds, you fucking idiots. The season opener is traditionally held in Melbourne, but 2024 is not the first time the AFL has moved the game to other parts of the country. The first game of the season has previously been played in Adelaide in 1991 and 2013, Sydney 2012, Perth 1989 and 2006, and Brisbane 2005. The news coming following the announcement of the Gather Round fixture in South Australia and details of 3 games in the Northern Territory for the 2024 season. The full fixture will be announced on Thursday, which is today. So, yeah, but at the time I'm recording this, it hasn't actually been announced. I don't know when it's getting announced, but I'm sure by the time this video is uploaded, it will be announced, and I'm sure there'll be further rounds later on. So here's the issue now. So basically, to make this fair, right? You've got the Thursday game and the Friday game, right? Now, the teams playing on Thursday and Friday need to be versing each other in round 1. That's actually round 2. So it's fair. Like, for example, you could do Sydney versus Carlton and Melbourne versus Brisbane or something like that. That would be reasonably fair, and have them play on the Sunday. So that's fair. And then on Saturday, it should be as simple as Gold Coast versus either GWS and Collingwood, or Richmond versus either GWS or Collingwood in round 2, which they're calling round 1. But the problem is that they're making Richmond versus Carlton on the Thursday night, which is fucking bullshit. And let me tell you why. Now, first off, that means Carlton have a massive advantage due to breaks. Carlton have an extra day's break over Richmond. Not only that, Richmond have to play in the hot summer heat during the fucking day against the Suns, whereas Carlton get to play at night, where it's a lot more bearable. And believe me, March 9 will be a fucking hot day in Queensland. Coming from someone who actually lives in Queensland, the afternoon is the worst time of day when it comes to it being extremely hot. It will be in the 30s for sure in degrees, and 90% humidity, which is a lot worse than a 40-degree day in Melbourne or wherever the fuck you're from. So the more heat means more fatigue, meaning Richmond would be more fatigued than Carlton from the game, plus Richmond have one less day for break. So you can automatically assume that Richmond will be robbed against Carlton in round 1 on that Thursday night. It's a massive unfair advantage to Carlton, and it just shows that the fixturing is an absolute farce. The teams that play in opening round should certainly be versing each other. They should not be playing a team that did not play in opening round, because it's a massive advantage and breaks again. One team's had a 1-week break, less than that maybe. The other team has had 6 months fucking off. So they need to think about that shit, The AFL need to get their shit together. Another issue is Supercoach. How the fuck are we going to play Supercoach? What's the goal of these buys? Is each team going to have 2 buys per year? Or are just the teams that play on opening round going to have a buy really early in the season, meaning they don't get their mid-season break like everyone else does, meaning they're going to be more fatigued as the season goes on later on because they don't get a mid-season break. It's a joke. If that's the case, it's a massive disadvantage to the opening round teams, which I doubt it will be the case because, Brisbane and fucking Gold Coast are involved and they're the most protected teams in the AFL in history. What I think is going to happen is that each team will have 2 buys, and it makes Supercoach very unplayable. How the fuck are we meant to play Supercoach if a team has a buy all the time? And how are they going to work out these buys? Well, every team in opening round, will they all have the buy on the same week as they should? Or will there be 2 teams 1 week, 2 teams the next, or some bullshit like that, which will fuck over everyone in Supercoach? I'm not doing that shit. If that's what's going to happen, I'm not playing Supercoach this year because it's going to be fucking fucked. It really is. Andrew Dillon, you're off to a terrible start as CEO. You've made so many mistakes. You've done absolutely nothing good except for implement the mid-season trade period if that's actually going to happen. But you gifting North Melbourne bullshit draft picks, you doing this opening round bullshit, and you doing all this buy bullshit, the gather round bullshit as well, you're off to a terrible start, mate. And I don't like you yet, at least, and I probably will never like you, just like I never liked Gillon McLachlan. Let's just pray Richmond do not get robbed in 2024. Not only that, I'm also probably going to be going to the Richmond Gold Coast game in opening round as well. And also, I'm considering going to the Brisbane Carlton game the night before as well. So, hopefully Richmond don't get robbed in front of me again like they did in 2022. Last time I went to an AFL game, Richmond were robbed against Gold Coast in 2022. So that better not happen again. So that's it for this rant. I hope you've enjoyed this rant. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment more like this. Be sure to become a channel member. Just click the join button next to my name. Also, be sure to subscribe to my premium member, Sean Ducks. Link to his channel is in the description. Also, be sure to join my Discord server. It is called Australian Sports Community. Link to that will also be in the description. Also, be sure to subscribe to my second YouTube channel. It is called Stoody Archives. Link to that is also in the description. Also, be sure to follow me on my other social media accounts. I have Instagram, I have Twitter, and I also have TikTok. The username for all those is StoodyYT, and links to all those will also be in the description. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you all in the next video.